Right then, The Predator. This video will kind of combine two bits of news, and they're all centered around set reports and basically interviews with regards to Shane Black and the approach to the movie. First things first, this is an article from Joe Blow where they interviewed Shane Black on a set visit and how he discussed going around basically making the film and what the inspirations were and kind of what direction he's heading in. So he stated the following. Well, I think that there's a basic premise that has to be honoured every time you make a Predator film, and that's in some way whatever the plot turns out to be. It has to, at some level, represent a hunt. But beyond that, I think there's infinite variability. It's like monkey bars. You ever play on the jungle gym when you were a kid? It looks like they're rigid and hard, and it'd be hard to play on these things because they're so rough. But if you go inside them, there's actually a lot of room to move around. You just know that the borders are there every once in a while. So as you can probably tell from the trailer, and then also this as well, this piece of news, Shane Black is taking the direction for the Predator franchise in quite a new and uncharted place with regards to hybridized predators and numerous predators. And essentially this kind of infinite variability he's discussing here. Now, the kind of take home from this is that obviously he sees it as, you know, an expansive universe which doesn't need to be very much in the same vein as the first one, which I agree with in some regard. However, yes, as far as his analogy to a jungle gym, yeah, there is lots of room to move around in. You know, you can't bend the jungle gym if we're going to use his analogy. You shouldn't be bending the bars to accommodate your story. And as much as there should be some level of expansion to the mythos, it still needs to be in keeping with kind of what the lore has established. And unfortunately, this is kind of what we've found out with, you know, hiring these older directors who had a hand in the first one. You only need to mention Prometheus and Alien Covenant to know that, unfortunately, this is kind of the direction we're moving in now, where Fox has been giving the keys over to these people and gone, yep, please, you were amazing in the first one, deal with it now and reinvigorate some new life into the franchise. I don't, strictly speaking, think that's the way to go, unfortunately. But hey, that is the news. And the second piece of news is kind of discussing the costumes and the creatures. And this comes from a discussion with Collider, again, Shane Black, and he stated the following. So we just tried to take the existing mythology and take it a step further. Ask some questions about why. Why do predators do what they do? What would be the next step for them? How do we up the stakes so that there's not just a single predator hunting a group of soldiers? Who are the soldiers? How are they different? What's the heroic quotient, and how do you make it not just guys with tough talk and big arms? I mean, I always favour real characters with real actors in these movies. I'm happy to have someone like Jesse Ventura. He's actually a fine actor as far as that goes, but the actors we tended to get for this are a cut above, I think, the average tough guy. Now, as far as that goes, again, it's kind of in line with what he said already. They're taking the mythology a step further and expanding upon it. I do find it quite comical, the need to just add more and more predators. A single predator works. You don't have to have loads and loads of predators. This film will feature 4, or I believe 5 off the top of my head. It's been a little while since I read the script. That's a lot of predators. Obviously, it's more than the last AVP film had. So again, it's kind of that need to just push boundaries further and further. And as it stands, I don't really feel that there is a need to do that. I don't see why you have to up the stakes so much. The need to constantly up the stakes is what makes a franchise burn out, because you can't just infinitely up the stakes, and that's where people fall short on storytelling, as far as I believe anyway. You can tell a similar story in an alternate setting, and you could subvert the genre and the expectations of the audience by flipping it. That's another way you could have approached this, but hey, you know, that's just my opinion as an avid fan of Predator. But what do you guys think of this? What do you think of Shane Black's take on needing to expand the mythos and constantly needing to up the stakes? A lot of people have reached out to me and stated that Shane Black has said that they're only a group of bad bloods and they're only a small clan that are hybridizing themselves. Well, he only mentioned that it's not all predators. Unfortunately, it's not been confirmed that they are bad bloods. It's also not been confirmed that that's even going to be made clear in the film. In fact, it's not made clear anywhere, really, that this is the case. I've read the script, it's not really made clear anywhere. So it is what it is. I also do find it quite laughable that Shane Black is saying that these particular actors are a cut above. Olivia Munn can't act, and Keegan-Michael Keyes is a comedian. So that's being very, very kind with his title as a comedian. So I do find that quite laughable. I mean, Shane Black's known for comedy. Maybe he was having a laugh with that statement. But it is what it is. And to finish this whole piece of news off, Bloody Disgusting were on set, and they described basically the set and kind of what information they were given, as they stated the following. The massive set represents the inside of the vessel, a looming structure of metal, and a complex circuitry of cables and pipes. Interestingly, these additions share a similar design to that of the creature's iconic dreadlocks. We were also promised that there may be other small Easter eggs hidden within the ship's design, and while we stood and marvelled at the massive structure looming before us, I noticed several production design boards right outside the set. They depicted an as yet unbuilt slide that looks to usher one of our characters deep into the belly of the ship. Now, what they're referring to here is the Ark, and basically everything that it's going to house. It will even have, wait for it, Predator dogs. Way! So look, this is all the news that I could kind of muster up into one long video. What do you guys think of this? Does this build your excitement? A lot of people have watched my recent videos. I'll link them at the end of this particular video. One was an opinion piece, basically. 2018's The Predator will be bad. It's an opinion piece plus also a discussion on what made the original movie so good and how this movie is essentially going to be trash as a result of them straying way too far away from the core concepts of the original. A lot of people unfortunately missed the point to that video and they focused in on really bizarre things. I've been claimed that I don't like strong female characters. Wrong, I do. I love the movie Revenge and that has a badass female lead. Or that I'm some kind of homosexual that just loves macho men. Again, wrong. It's not the point. The point to the video was that it's an extremely simple story which centers on extreme masculinity in the form of an army mission, which then completely does a 180 into a sci-fi film. So that was kind of my point to that whole discussion, but people seem to have kind of missed the point there. And my thoughts on Olivia Munn and strong female leads. Again, this movie, you got to remember Olivia Munn plays a science teacher, a disgruntled science teacher, which then suddenly turns into a badass. My points were, why do we need that in a film? Why do we have to have this kind of token, agenda-pushing, strong female character who unfortunately can't act to save her life anyway? So I'll link them at the end of this video just so you guys can kind of see. That was one of them, and then obviously my review of the Predator trailer. I want to hear your thoughts though. Are you keen for this movie at all? Do you like it? Are you hyped? A lot of people have chimed in on all of those videos and just said, look, with the greatest of respects, this sounds like trash. I really don't like the look of this. It's overlit. The creature designs are awful. And yeah, unfortunately, Studio ADI has not done a good job on these creature designs. Again, people that will jump the gun on that and say, oh, Mr. H, you're talking shit. Just take a look at the creature designs in terms of the size of their head in relation to their body. It's way out of proportion. And then go and take a look at the original created by Stan Winston. That one was a work of art. The creature was awesome. So, to be fair, I think they've really kind of gone way off on a tangent here. And also, with respect to the trailer review, I did mention that they shouldn't have shown the Predator in the trailer. And a lot of people have come back and said, yeah, but we all know what they look like. Okay, even more reason not to show the Predator. Build some anticipation. Build some atmosphere. Show the dread that this story is going to have, if it has any of that. You got to remember, guys, a trailer is an advert. It is an advertisement for a film, and 90% of this trailer was focusing on a child. Who are they advertising this film for? Baffling, absolutely baffling. So I want to hear all your thoughts. Drop them down below. I know this has been kind of a rambling video here and there, but look, it's a Sunday. I hope you're all having a nice weekend. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification. Why? Because YouTube does not notify you that the videos are up, and you will miss out on a lot of content. So guys, as always, I have been Mr. H, and I will catch you in the next video.